As you all know, we cannot afford to do anything that will jeopardize the chances of the party in the 2023 general elections.
Learn from past mistakes and push for consolidation, President Buhari tells National Assembly APC leadership.
The overall objective of the policy conference is to position thought leaders of the party and center experts.
Countdown to APC National Convention, governing party leans towards consensus arrangement.
To maintain our unity, we carried us through the last convention so that at the end of May, we shall present a PD presidential candidate Nigerians will be proud of.
PDP begins work on zoning its presidential ticket.
We cannot allow this to continue. Something has to be done.
Also tonight, hardline campaign begins against oil thieves. Good evening. Welcome to NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober, live in Abuja, and in Lagos, Hingino John Adams will be joining us later. President Muhammadu Buhari earlier today granted audience to his Ghanaian counterpart, Nana Akufo-Addo. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports that President Akufo-Addo is the current chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. President Buhari and the Ghanaian leader held talks behind closed doors that lasted about 1 hour. Details of their discussions were not disclosed. The two West African leaders have been collaborating effectively with their counterparts across the sub-region towards preserving and sustaining the gains of democracy, as well as enhancing peace, security, and economic well-being of the sub-region. Both leaders, who share many things in common, are serving their second terms in office. And President Muhammadu Buhari is urging leaders and members of the All Progressives Congress to assiduously channel their energies towards improving the fortunes of the governing party and strengthening its position of dominance in Nigeria's political space. This was while granting audience to APC leadership in the National Assembly, led by Senate President Ahmed Lawan. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
This meeting with the APC leadership in the National Assembly is in furtherance of President Muhammadu Buhari's strategic engagement with critical stakeholders towards achieving a peaceful, rancor-free and successful March 26 National Convention, reminding his guests of the proximity of the election dates set by INEC. The president made a strong case for positions to be harmonized with a bigger picture of retaining power and sustaining the delivery of good governance.
As you all know, we cannot afford to do anything that will jeopardize the chances of the party in the 2023 general elections. We have an obligation to conduct the upcoming convention in a manner that not only fortifies the unity of our party, but also improves the prospects of our electoral fortunes. We have an important role to play in ensuring that this happens.
Already, a zoning template was produced and adopted by the party towards ensuring that the new leadership of the APC is reflective of the nation's diversity in unity, as well as a representative of the nation's dynamic interest. The president stressed the need for the template to be adhered to as a matter of necessity.
The time available to us is limited, and I therefore enjoin you to collaborate with the various stakeholders within and outside your respective states and zones to agree to work together and harmoniously in electing into the allotted positions appropriately as stipulated in the provided template. This will not only produce a smooth process, and limit friction, but will enhance the image of the party positively and strengthen our overall position of dominance in the political space.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker Femi Bajabiamila were full of appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for providing the desired leadership for the APC and Nigeria to not only overcome most of their challenges, but also remain united, focused, and indeed growing stronger.
This meeting with Mr. President has given us more energy. We believe that at least in our party, there is a president who will ensure that once there are disagreements, he is able to call everybody to order. We are committed to ensuring that this political party does not only have a successful convention, but a very successful, peaceful, and self-electioneering campaigns. And the general elections, by the grace of God, will see Nigerians voting once again for APC, because we have so far done so much in the areas that matter for the people of this country.
The whole idea is to encourage all stakeholders to unite, present a common front, and have a peaceful, rancor-free, successful convention.
It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday met with the APC governors and national chairmanship aspirants of the party towards ensuring that delegates go into the March 26th National Convention with a united front. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A 10-year primary healthcare guidelines, standards and regulatory framework to improve healthcare service delivery in Nigeria has been launched at the Primary Healthcare Summit underway in Abuja. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who launched the document, says the federal government is prioritizing health security and making primary healthcare fully functional in the spirit of achieving universal health coverage.
Has not been operating as conceptualized.
Now is the time for us to treat our healthcare as the emergency that it is.
The federal government is coming up with a new approach that is expected to help in transforming primary healthcare service delivery in the country.
No matter how robust we want a health system to be, it can only be as strong as our primary health system. Because of the preventive focus of primary health care, any investment in healthcare is a wise investment in the social and economic well-being of society.
Revitalizing primary healthcare centers is central to this initiative and is key to Mr. President's health agenda.
This 2022 Primary Healthcare Summit, with the team Reimagining PHC in Nigeria, has participants drawn from across the health sector, with administrators, development partners, as well as religious and traditional leaders pledging support.
And may He, Almighty Allah, give us the strength and the willpower to implement all what we have agreed to do here.
At the Nigerian Governors Forum, we remain committed to working with the Federal Ministry of Health, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, and our partners to achieve our health goals.
It is a two-day summit, and its target is to galvanize national and international stakeholders to invest and collaboratively implement a primary healthcare revitalization strategy for Nigeria. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
To politics now, the All Progressives Congress says it is set to give account of its stewardship since coming to power in 2015. This is part of activities to herald the party's 2022 National Convention. Saliu Gwanara reports.
The APC Pre-Convention Conference Committee said the strategic engagement between critical stakeholders such as the media, civil society groups, and the organized private sector will offer opportunity for the APC to present facts and figures on the journey so far. Secretary of the committee, Garba Abari, on behalf of Governor Umar Zulum of Borno State and Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti, both chairman and co-chairman, told journalists that the policy conference has as its theme consolidating democracy.
The overall objective of the policy conference is to position thought leaders of the party and the sector experts to deliberate on the current and the future policy direction of the party and to provide reform agenda, which the party will drive over the next phase of its administration, building on the current achievements, including the outcomes of states and the local governments. It will also seek to address various segments around governance, around economy, around social environment, around human capital development, all with an aim to rekindle investor confidence in the Nigerian economy.
He said the event is also to strengthen internal cohesion within the party before and after the national convention. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Well, it's now less than 48 hours to the much anticipated national convention of the governing APC. Well, member Media and Publicity Subcommittee for the convention, Ibim Seminitari, joins me in the studio to speak more on the party's level of preparedness. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Sarah.
Right. Beyond the readiness of Eagle Square, where this convention is taking place, and the work being done by subcommittees, including yours, what's your impression on the readiness of members and the delegates, considering reports of factionalization in the APC still in so many states? Will this not affect this convention, or how would this play out?
I think one of the things that is gratifying is the fact that people are coming into Abuja very excited. I mean, delegates have been arriving, and we've been finding pockets of delegates, basically, quite frankly, backslapping, and people haven't seen each other for so long. So there is quite some excitement in the air. Well, does that mean that there might not be one or two pockets of disaffection? Maybe, but generally, what appears to be the feeling is that people are quite excited to be here and are ready for the convention.
Particularly when you think about the emergence of certain candidates, some by consensus and some not so by consensus.
Well, you know, again, this is politics, and there are various ways that things happen. So consensus is just one of the ways. I do not think, indeed, that any candidate has been asked to stop their ambition. So you're going to find that there are people who are still on the ballot. There are maybe a few people who are willing to concede certain things, maybe to get certain things. So I think that generally a lot of things are going on, and all of it is part of the democratic process. The good thing is that the space isn't shrinking.
Has the party taken a different stance on the matter of political appointees being delegates, given the fact that Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act is still being contested?
I think that what the party constitution has always provided for are statutory delegates. And the statutory delegates are usually people who are elected. Now, there are delegates that are elected at their wards and state levels. So we have continued with that same process. The process does not in any way contravene the constitution.
Okay. This next question probably be just a yes or no answer. Is there a zoning palaver still brewing in the party?
Not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of that?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Now, considering certain underlying factors which are still filtering out of the various formations of your party during this planned convention, are you thinking this will hold without all that rancor?
I think the convention will hold. I think that a lot of people are thinking it might be more, but basically all of what I hear might just be a storm in a teacup. I do not think that there's going to be fracas. I do not think there's going to be the kind of rancor that is being suggested. I think it's going to be a convention that will go well. Might there be fallouts? Very possible. But the APC is one strong, united family.
All right, we'll leave it there, and we'll see how it goes. And I would like to thank you very much, Ibim Seminitari, member of the Publicity Subcommittee of it's Saturday, right? The
yes,
convention
Saturday.
of APC. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right. We'll take a short break now. When we return, there'll be more on politics. Stay with us.
The All Progressives Congress Pre-Convention Conference holds on Friday, March 25th, 2020 at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja by 9 a.m. The conference with the theme Consolidating Democratic Change, Scorecard, Impact, and the Road Ahead shall have in attendance leaders of the APC, party faithfuls, and the media. Chairman, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, Governor, Borno State. Co-chair, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Governor, Ekiti State. Pre-Convention Policy Committee, Announcer.
Enjoy the reward that sharing brings with the Airtel Family Plan. Get bonus talk time, SMS, and data for each family member you share with. Dial *141# now. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Dear friend, how are you? I can smell the goodness of Easter around you. But wait a minute. Do you know you can enjoy Easter in luxurious comfort like never before? Because this Easter, Bedmates Furniture invites you to discover new levels of comfort with furniture that brings life to your home. Seriously, now is your last chance to have a memorable Easter and beyond. From 21st March to 20th April 2022, get furniture you love at unbelievable low prices with free gifts in our showrooms. Hurry now before others choose the finest units you want.
The unity of the party is being strengthened by the day, and I am very comfortable because being chairman of the convention committee, I can see all the support from the governors. So we're making very good progress, and we're looking forward to the convention on Saturday.
The unity is key to this convention, and we are all united. We are one family. We are going to work together for the success of this convention.
You know, APC is a solid, united family. As you can see, we are united as governors and as members of APC.
The APC National Convention, stronger and more united for a greater Nigeria. Join us on Saturday, 26 March 2022 at the Eagle Square, Abuja. The APC welcomes you.
The Zenith Better Life promo is back, and it's bigger and better. You could be one of 20 lucky customers to win 150,000 naira every 2 weeks from now till January 31st, 2023. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account and maintain a minimum balance of 5,000 naira. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Road crashes don't just happen, they are caused. The Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi, therefore enjoins all road users to avoid all road vices such as speeding, overloading, use of phone while driving, night trips, facing oncoming vehicles, drunk driving, non-use of seat belts, wrongful and dangerous overtaking, lane indiscipline, and other road traffic rules violations. Always drive to save lives. Remember, road safety is a shared responsibility. This message is from the Federal Road Safety Corps. BC Kazim, Assistant Corps Marshal, Corps Public Enlightenment Office, Announcer.
IU scores. Coolly slotted home by the skipper. Much more promising in the second half. Great ball, Musa!
Here comes another clash of titans as Black Stars of Ghana face Super Eagles of Nigeria in first leg Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup playoffs this Friday, March 25, 2022 in Kumasi at 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Catch the action live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. For advertisements, please contact Bolal on 0803 7044 286, Howard 0803 3121-022 or Nuhu on 0803 3260 729.
Trying to get around the back of Arneson. It's in, it's Musa. Across goal. Musa.
Ghana versus Nigeria. The big game.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, founding fathers of the All Progressives Congress were Thursday evening hosted to a dinner at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Adam Musambu reports that the get-together was organized by President Muhammadu Buhari. This is to show his appreciation to the critical stakeholders for their continued support, understanding and cooperation with his administration, as well as keeping the faith with the goals and ideals of the governing party for national salvation. The engagement was also in furtherance of genuine efforts by the Nigerian leader at ensuring a rancor-free and successful national convention of the party coming up on Saturday. In attendance were the first interim chairman of the party, Chief Bisi Akonde, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, Senator Rocha Sokorocha, Ibrahim Shekarau, and Aliu Magatakada Wamaku. Others are Governor Nasser Ahmed El Rufai, Rotimi Amechi, Chairman Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the party, May Malabuni, and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Details of the interactive dinner held behind closed doors were not disclosed. And supporters of Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, are still pushing for him to join the 2023 presidential race, hyping his intellect and vast experience in coordinating Nigeria's economic recovery as an edge over other aspirants. Some of the supporters, who came together under a national coalition group, staged what they described as an Osinbajo run road walk in Abuja to persuade the vice president. Joseph Otsen reports.
On their knees and under the sun, they remain defiant, calling on Vice President to throw his hat in the ring to run for the president of Nigeria.
Because he has been tested and trusted. Yes. All the youth are yearning for Osinbajo. Yes. All the market women are yearning for Osinbajo.
Generations will come would thank you for changing the destiny of this nation for the better, by making the smart choice. Yemi Osinbajo for president.
We need a smart leader because we are smart Nigerians. We have smart future and we want to build a smart Nigeria.
The members of the National Coalition Group, made up of the young, aged and women, say they are desirous of a progressive Nigeria and feel the vice president is the most capable to bridge the gap between the young and old, quell disunity and spearhead economic viability.
It's better we have somebody that have learned than somebody that will come and start learning from the scratch. At least he knows the challenges now that we are having in this country.
The group is pinpointing the laudable leadership the VP has shown in driving economic policies with meaningful bearing on wealth creation for the youth and women as an example of his capability for a country in dire need of economic diversification. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
And in other political news, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has inaugurated the party's Presidential Zoning Committee with a charge to members to carry out the assignment with every sense of patriotism to the party and country. Timothy Yusuf reports.
As a National Working Committee acting on behalf of NEC, to formally inaugurate this committee, made up of the names that have been mentioned.
The National Chairman, Yocha, you inaugurated the committee pursuant to the approval of the National Executive Committee of the party at its 95th meeting that announced the appointment of a 37-member Presidential Zoning Committee. Senator Ayu appealed to members to conduct a rancor-free deliberation.
I therefore implore you never to lose sight of the bigger picture or the bigger objective. And that big sight is to maintain our unity, which carried us through the last convention, so that at the end of May, we shall present a PD presidential candidate Nigerians will be proud of.
The committee members include 3 serving governors among other party leaders, comprising former governors, ministers, as well as the House Minority Leader, Ndudi Elumelu. Away from the inauguration,
former president of the Senate and PDP presidential aspirant Dr. Bukola Saraki, and two other aspirants, governors of Sokoto and Bauchi states, Aminu Tambuwal and Bala Mohammed, met in Abuja in an effort towards coming up with a consensus candidate for the 2023 presidential election.
The major issue and the message we want to put across to Nigerians is that the country is larger and bigger than our individual interests, and we are committed to that process.
A similar engagement was earlier held in Bauchi, with the next expected to hold in Sokoto. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And stepping away from politics now, the National Economic Council has held its monthly meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, with focus on Nigeria's human capital development strategy, an update on plans towards the implementation of the strategy. While addressing newsmen after the meeting, the Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, Laulu Akondi, says Nigeria's human capital development has been adopted as a template for the development of the ECOWAS Regional Integrated Strategy.
And the key message that was delivered to the council members was that commitment at the federal and state level is critical to ensuring that there is increased investment in human capital development interventions across the nation. So state governments were urged to actively demonstrate their buy-in in the human capital development program. This is one of the most important factors for successfully achieving the human capital development agenda. States are expected to design their own plans and strategies to maximize the impact of the implementation in their states.
Laulu Akondi added that state governors have been urged to invest in interventions and high-impact programs across the thematic areas like health, education and labor to improve the human capital development indices in their states. The governors are expected to actively participate in the launch of the National Human Capital Development Strategy, which is slated for the 17th of May, while making efforts towards the implementation of community-based human capital development projects in their states.
Capital development outcome areas and meet state expectations. It was also recommended to the council by the Human Capital Development team that the enablers of good governance, funding and improved data collection is also an important objective that should be an active part of the implementation of the Human Capital Development Strategy.
The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, has assured Nigerians of the federal government's determination to deliver the construction of critical strategic infrastructure projects in Nigeria before the end of this year. The minister gave the assurance during the weekly State House media briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
With the establishment of the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund, PIDF, in 2018 by the present administration to accelerate the execution of critical infrastructure projects to essentially facilitate the growth and modernization of the Nigeria's economy, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, said the government has recorded huge success within the period under review. The minister dwelled extensively on three key priority projects under the PIDF, including Lagos-Shagamu-Ibadan Expressway, Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Dual Carriageway, and the second Niger Bridge linking Anambra and Delta states. Speaking on government spending on the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Dual Carriageway, the minister has justified huge spending on the road construction, which he said was initially built between 1986 and 1991.
This is a 375-kilometer project. It's actually the biggest project in Nigeria. The cost is in the order of 700 billion.
On the Lagos-Shagamu-Ibadan Expressway, the minister explained that the road has reached over 57% completion, with optimism of finishing the work before the end of this year, in line with the current economic realities.
Lagos to Shagamu, JB, 43.6 kilometers, as I said, is 134 billion, because what we're doing there is that we're expanding the existing route from 2 to 3 lanes. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway also has at least 40,000 vehicles using it every day. So this is what we have to manage while we are constructing.
Another key national infrastructure with immense socio-economic benefits to Nigerians is the second Niger Bridge, consisting of 1.6-kilometer bridge, 10.3-kilometer highway, and a toll station. The minister told journalists that with almost 91% job completion at virtually all portions of the bridge and the highway, and with over 200 billion naira earmarked for the project, it is expected to be delivered before the end of this year to advancing the commercial activities in the area, while calling on journalists to continue partnering with government for the desired development through enlightening the public on the importance of road maintenance and usage. The minister added that the road construction and rehabilitation has provided thousands of direct and indirect jobs opportunities to Nigerians to stimulate growth and development. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
The volume of crude oil being stolen on a daily basis through the operations of illegal crude refiners in Nigeria is not only depleting Nigeria's production capacity, but also having massive negative impact on the environment. Key players who decry the economic impact and environmental devastation say it cannot be allowed to continue. Lydia Sampson reports.
Crude oil theft is often considered a massive economic sabotage. And as you can see right beside me here, this massive waste in the middle of Iba community in Port Harcourt, where illegal refining of crude oil is taking place, but abandoned. Iba community is about an hour's drive from Port Harcourt. Ironically, it is notorious for crude oil theft, which key players say is the biggest challenge bedeviling the oil and gas industry. It is in the light of these that President Muhammadu Buhari had directed that it be tackled once and for all. The combined strategic approach by industry players with security operatives is expected to turn around the narrative.
We cannot allow this to continue. Something has to be done. Apart from the toll it's taking on the oil industry, the toll that it is also taking on our environment, the environment that is to sustain our people is too much. Government cannot bear it. So this problem must be brought to an end.
The Navy is doing enormous work. In the last 4 to 5 days, they have made several arrests. They are blocking all the estuaries. And as long as we are not able to move the vessels around the waters, it will get out of it.
Members of the armed forces are going to be ruthless with anyone that is found to have engaged in the malfeasance. But I can assure you that at the end of it all, there will be greater improvement in the entire space.
If any Nigerian wants to participate in upstream activities, they could come to the regulatory body and the activities will be guided by the existing regulation.
They are optimistic that the renewed onslaught will leave no stone unturned in taking the war to the doorsteps of illegal crude oil thieves and refineries. From Port Harcourt, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The House of Representatives is working on a legislation that will enable expansion of the mandate of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the bill seeks inclusion of the National Youth Service Corps as beneficiary of the fund.
The amendment of Set Fund Act, report of which was laid before plenary by the House Committee on Tertiary Education and Services for consideration and approval, also seeks inclusion of licensed private polytechnics, monotechnics and other federal tertiary institutions in Nigeria, such as colleges of forestry, as beneficiaries of the fund.
And to ensure that disbursement from the fund is available for monotechnics and other specialized tertiary institutions in Nigeria.
The report on the bill seeking the establishment of National Social Investment Programme and its coordinating office within the ministry responsible for social development was also submitted for consideration and approval.
Having received the various submissions on the proposal, the committee was better informed to produce an improved version of the National Social Investment Programme establishment bill.
The House passed at second reading a bill to establish Federal Teaching Hospital Makurdi, Benue State from John Day, and a bill to establish Federal College of Agriculture, Oboimbiri in Bayelsa State, sponsored by Pre Goodluck Oseke. Meanwhile, the House is seeking justice for late Ms. Chinenye Opa, allegedly shot on the 18th of March 2022 as raised by Deputy Minority Leader Tobi Okechukwu.
This attack was orchestrated by suspected security agents, and it happened at coal camp in Enugu.
From the National Assembly, NTA News.
A $1 billion agreement has been signed between the federal government and foreign investors to generate 1 gigawatt of solar power. The Minister of Finance and that of Power say the project is part of the federal government's policy of expanding the energy mix of the country, especially in underserved areas. Joshua Ujitu reports.
The power purchase agreement of the $1 billion solar-powered project was signed in 2016 but could not take off. Federal government is worried, so investors and stakeholders in the project summoned to resolve all bottlenecks that delayed the project, as government says fresh initiatives will be explored to address challenges in the sector and improve supply.
It is compelling now for us to support the investors in the solar sector so that your plans come to be and that the nation is able to realize more power from solar source in its network.
We have about 10 out of the 14 developers that have formally signed on to participate in the resolution framework.
With resolutions reached, all is set to mobilize men and materials to site and deliver the project latest 2023. Joshua Ojitu, NTA News.
As part of efforts to enhance social and infrastructure development in the northeastern part of the country, the Northeast Development Commission is holding talks with people from various fields to provide lasting projects. Yusuf Jika reports that at a consultative stakeholders meeting held in Yola, participants called for the implementation of sustainable programs and projects in critical sectors of the region.
Established to champion the reconstruction and rehabilitation of the areas affected by insurgents, the Northeast Development Commission is leaving no stone unturned at realizing their set goal is achieved, hence the need for stakeholders in Adamawa to brainstorm on critical sectors on the strategic master plan of the Commission. Implementation of the projects that have direct bearing to the lives of the affected communities has been identified as one of the proactive measures that will bring normalcy in the region.
Improving their livelihood, whatever they are doing, so that they will make greater benefits from it.
Professor Umar Baboy, who stood in for the Managing Director NEDC, Mohammed Goni Alkali, said the outcome of the meeting from the respective states will serve as a workable blueprint for the rehabilitation and development of the Northeast region.
To harness their individual and collective inputs to enrich and align with NEDC's policy of inclusiveness and bottom-up approach.
And to begin to identify key project approaches that define exactly what we need to do in order to achieve the vision that we identified for the region.
The NEDC master plan is developed based on the strategic needs assessment of the people with a view to improving their social and infrastructural development of the affected communities. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
And Hingino in Lagos steps in with other reports on network news. Hingino.
Thank you, Cyril. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, is calling on the federal government to work with stakeholders in heightening national security to save the oil and gas sector from theft. At a press briefing in Lagos, the group observed that within 4 months, 90% of crude oil pumped into the transnational pipes by operators were vandalized. Michael Alale reports.
Since the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, oil price, especially that of the international marker, Brent, has continued its upward stretch, reaching a record of $139 per barrel. A supposed glory days for Nigeria whose economy largely depends on oil, but the reverse is the case, as scarcity has continued to threaten virtually every aspect of the country's energy sector.
That between 2014,
the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PEGASAN, observed that while Nigeria has not been able to translate this huge opportunity into economic growth, it's because of the increase in crude oil theft. Apart from what the union described as the vandalism of the transnational pipelines, there is the issue of reconciliation and physicalization of Bonny Terminal, which shows that only 5 to 10% of crude oil metered by operators gets to the terminals.
we have been much more fixated on, let's control the price of PMS. But we are not looking at the attendant effect. Some of the reasons why we feel or why we believe that if you deregulate that sector, it will be much more better, because there is nobody that is going to invest in a sector where you will buy products at an international rate and the price is fixed. The price to which you can sell that product is fixed. So the sector is not liberalized.
Apart from the huge revenue losses this act of economic sabotage is costing the country, PEGASAN also lamented the environmental hazard and implication on health. The group believes strengthening surveillance will put a stop to the act to boost the financial base of the country. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Nigeria is steadily taking ownership of efforts in the survey and charting of its indigenous waters as NNS Lano, the nation's first ever purpose-built offshore survey vessel, sails on its maiden hydrographic survey mission. The ship sailed in Lagos after a ceremony to flag off the indigenous survey and charting of Nigeria's offshore waters by Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi. Adeni Taiwo completes the report.
Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, joined by Chief of the Naval Staff Vice Admiral Awal Gambo and other dignitaries, flagging off Nigerian Navy survey vessel NNS Lano and wishing her fair wind as she sails on her first hydrographic mission. On cue, the ship cast off, heading out to survey approaches to Lagos from the nation's international waters. The mission, the minister notes, is symbolic for a nation like Nigeria, which has 84,000 nautical square miles of coastal and offshore waters, with 85% of its imports done through the maritime domain.
It is also expected that at the end of this survey and charting campaign, up-to-date indigenous nautical products will be available to facilitate smooth takeoff of the new deep sea ports that are under construction.
This event is coming at a time the nation is committed to the sustainable development of its blue economy. The Nigerian Navy is poised to support the in realizing this economic objective.
While noting that Nigeria joined the League of Chart Constructing Nations in 2019, using local boats and survey equipment, the hydrographer of the Nigerian Navy described the systematic survey as a huge step forward.
The Nigerian Navy Hydrographic Office identified approaches to Lagos as the most critical area to be surveyed by Lana at the end of this ceremony.
She would, however, only perform that role by being constantly at sea, collecting relevant data, hydrographic and oceanographic data with which to chart our water.
Already, focal agencies in the maritime sector are waiting on the wing to leverage both navigational and non-navigational data from the vessel's mission.
There will be collaboration between NPA and Nigerian Navy. We also send our hydrographers to Nigerian Navy for on-the-job training.
Commissioned as a naval asset on December 9, 2021, NNS Lano, ahead of its inaugural hydrographic mission, commenced preliminary survey operations to calibrate its equipment and train its crew in January 2022. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
It's now time for our second break, but before we go on that break, we want to remind you that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates.
The All Progressives Congress Pre-Convention Conference holds on Friday, March 25th, 2020 at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja by 9 a.m. The conference with the theme Consolidating Democratic Change, Scorecard, Impact, and the Road Ahead shall have in attendance leaders of the APC, party faithfuls, and the media. Chairman, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, Governor, Borno State. Co-chair, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Governor, Ekiti State. Pre-Convention Policy Committee, Announcer.
Oh, boy, I see this collab where they shoot there. Yeah, give me small new number now.
Romance without finance na annoyance. Better give me bullet.
Yeah, give me the number.
So yeah, jot the number down 0805.
Where the complete number?
It's always so hot, like the like I go need juice, so just like juices.
Hey, where I give me last numbers?
My 5 password.
419 you owe me.
Oh yeah, 7650.
What's you? What's you? Smiley, hello, all right. Guys, the first collab was on the train, though.
Find your first. Choose a social data bundle that suits your style. Dial *777#. Glow Unlimited.
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat trick today.
Cool. Wow. And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this.
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
United and stronger, working for a better Nigeria. APC.
We've had our own fair share of differences of opinion, of contention, of debates, of robust arguments, but these are all geared towards building a much stronger entity, a much stronger party.
There is nothing that is greater than the unity of APC, because APC remains the hope of this country.
This party, the APC, is already united. The governors are united. Our major stakeholders are united. And we are going into this convention also united.
The APC National Convention consolidated our unity on a solid foundation of peace and progress on Saturday, 26 March 2022 at the Eagle Square, Abuja.
Did you know that a quarter of the world's deaths from malaria is in Nigeria? And the reason being a mosquito that spreads malaria, a disease that puts everyone's life in distress. We believe that protection and prevention is the best cure in the fight to end malaria. Morphine insecticide with its improved formulation kills 100% mosquitoes that spread malaria. So spread the message of how we can fight to end malaria with Morphine. Morphine, our #1 choice.
Thank you for the rejections that taught me to keep striving. Thank you for the long hours that taught me discipline. Thank you for the knockdowns that taught me to bounce back. And for the unexpected victories that taught me to never give up. Thank you for making me who I am.
We are looking forward to a peaceful convention where national leaders will emerge that will lead us to solidify on the gains that we have made, strengthen our party, strengthen our platform and our resolve and our ability to continue to deliver to Nigerians.
We are working very hard round the clock to ensure that we deliver the National Convention on the 26th of March 2022.
We're already putting all the arrangements to ensure a very smooth convention.
We're going to this convention stronger than ever before, and we shall come out like a diamond.
The APC National Convention, stronger and more united for a greater Nigeria. Join us on Saturday, 26th March 2022 at the Eagle Square, Abuja.
The Central Bank of Nigeria is still taking the lead in Nigeria's agricultural revolution, refocusing attention along the wheat value chain with an objective to reduce importation of wheat by 60% and save the nation about $2 billion annually. This was demonstrated during the 2021 to 2022 CBN Support Brown Revolution Wheat Harvest in Ringim, Jigawa State. Ibrahim Bello has details.
The Nigeria Brown Revolution is a strategy developed by the Central Bank of Nigeria to address the challenges of wheat value chain through Anko Borrower program for self-sufficiency in wheat production. It encourages accessible financing options for farmers to drive dry season production. This event, witnessed by representatives of Governor Badar Abubakar and that of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, shows how the program is yielding positive results, leading to the cultivation of more than 132,000 hectares of wheat farm across 15 states, worth over 42 billion naira.
According to the statistics, today we are saying that wheat production have moved by additional 5% this season. That's from 10% to 15%. This is great.
Mr. President's commitment to economic diversification has been the greatest motivation on this journey. His mantra of Nigerians producing what we eat and eating what we produce energized our resolve to push the target set for the Nigerian Brown Revolution to a higher pedestal.
Stakeholders who benefited from the Central Bank of Nigeria's collaboration, like Flour Millers Association of Nigeria, research institutes, and farmers, attribute the success of the program to the CBN intervention in the provision of fertilizer and other farm inputs, as well as technical knowledge given to the farmers.
To sustainably expand wheat production in the country, we must increase farmers' yield to make wheat competitive with rice and other dry season crops.
I am hoping to get more than 40 bags of wheat. We are getting assistance from government and the harvest is great.
Jigawa has the largest concentration of the wheat farmers among the 15 benefiting states. Ibrahim Bello, NTA News.
Time for another break. We'll be back.
IU scores. Coolly slotted home by the skipper. Much more promising in the second half. Great ball, Musa!
Here comes another clash of titans as Black Stars of Ghana face Super Eagles of Nigeria in First Leg Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup playoffs this Friday, March 25, 2022 in Kumasi at 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Catch the action live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. For advertisements, please contact Bolal on 0803 7044 286, Howard 0803 3121-022 or Nuhu on 0803 3260 729.
Trying to get round the back of Arneson. It's in, it's Musa. Across goal. Musa surely.
Ghana versus Nigeria. The big game.
The All Progressives Congress Pre-Convention Conference holds on Friday, March 25th, 2020 at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja by 9 a.m. The conference with the theme Consolidating Democratic Change, Scorecard, Impact, and the Road Ahead shall have in attendance leaders of the APC, party faithfuls, and the media. Chairman, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, Governor, Borno State. Co-chair, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Governor, Ekiti State. Pre-Convention Policy Committee, Announcer.
What a lovely couple.
Thank you very much, ma.
How can I help you?
My madam here wants us to change our mattress. She says it is too firm.
It is, very uncomfortable.
But I like the mattress.
You're always complaining of backache. I'm not even going to message you.
No.
Don't worry. I have the right mocha for you. Come with me. Mondio Plus is a spring mattress with a comfort layer. It is made with superior Bonnell technology, which ensures the spring core doesn't poke through. You will both enjoy it.
Hey, babe. But you're still going to massage my back, yeah?
When you think of fruit juice and all the goodness that comes in it, think Chivita. It is many years of trust, quality, and all the goodness of fruit poured into one lovely bag, specially made for you. There is more to choose from. Whatever your preferences are, there is a Chivita for you. If you love an active life, or you just want to relax and unwind, if you are the cool dude, or simply want to try something refreshingly different, however you want it, there is a Chivita for you.
Oh,
Yes. Check out our new Chivita Smart Malt Drink. Energy to learn, energy to play. So, what's your Chivita?
The APC welcomes you.